Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aaron with Aaron Fixes Stuff. Today's project is going to be a quick one. We're installing a dimmer to replace this switch. A helpful tip is find a dimmer that'll work with whatever light you're working. Some of the new ones, this one is one of my favorite ones. It works with basically any bulb. Sometimes what you'll see is when you install your dimmer, when you try to dim the light, they either flicker or they kind of turn on and off, or they don't dim at all. So something that often happens is that the bulb and the dimmer are not compatible. So something you want to make sure is A, that your bulbs are dimmable, and then B, that the dimmer is compatible with the type of light that you have. So in this case, this one should work with ours because we have LED bulbs. So today's project, like I said, is just going to be replacing this one with a dimmer. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off the faceplate. In our case, we have 3. This could be 1, 2, or any combination. It doesn't really matter. Something that I would recommend is always turn your power off before starting. If you have access to a tester to make sure that it's off. So definitely make sure you're working with your power off. Another little tip is when you're removing these faceplates, sometimes what happens is painters, either because they're trying to save time or because they weren't paid for it, will kind of paint just around the faceplate as opposed to taking it off. And when you try to take the faceplate off, it'll sometimes pull some of the paint off. So something that you can do is always kind of take a sharp blade, give it a little cut all the way around the faceplate. That way, if the plate is attached to the paint, you won't be tearing any paint off. Another thing is make sure you get all your screws too. All right. Can you see well enough? And like I said, make sure that your power is off when you're doing this. If you ever have any questions or you're not sure what you're doing, consult a professional. Something I don't recommend is to put your wires straight into the outlet this way, because this, I've seen it fail to where this just pulls out. And then if this happens to be the live wire or the line as opposed to the switch leg, you just have a live wire sitting in there, and that obviously is a fire hazard. This is the way to do it. Make sure your loop is going clockwise. That way when you're turning the screw, the loop is tightening as opposed to kind of unraveling. So don't do this, do this. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is obviously the power's off. We're gonna disconnect this switch. And cut this one. And this one, because it was screwed in, I can just screw. All right, so on this dimmer, they do have instructions. So this one can be a single pole or a 3-way switch. In this case, if you look at the instructions, they say if you're not going to use it as a 3-way switch, to not use this one, and the 2 that we're going to use are going to be these 2. This one is going to go for the ground wire. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this ground and connect it using the wire nut. All right, so we have the ground connected. Next, we're going to connect the wires. Doesn't matter which we connect to which side, as long as we do one on either side. And we're going to do that now. All right, so we turned the power back on. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna test it. So I'm gonna turn it on. I'm gonna show the lights. So there they are. They're on, off, on again, and then we're gonna dim. And obviously our dimmer's working, and as you can tell, there's no flickering. All right, so the final thing is gonna be to secure this back in place. Something that you should always do is wrap with an outlet or any sort of switch you're installing. Always wrap it with electrical tape. 1 or 2 turns is perfect. And next we're going to tuck everything back in and close it all up. Like our on. So that's it. That's our dimmer installed and working. If you have any questions, comment, feedback about what I did or didn't do, feel free to comment below, ask any questions, give me any feedback. I try to get back to all comments. As always, I appreciate your time and have a good day.